Good day everyone, my name is Kyla Antoinette Mercado from BSBA HRM 2A and I will going to discuss what is supply chain management, how does it work, what are the five parts of it, even the example, and also I will going to discuss the importance of it, and lastly is have the strategies for having supply chain management. So keep on watching. So what is supply chain management? Supply chain management is a centralized management of flow of goods and services together, or including all of the process of raw materials to transform into final product. So by managing having supply chain management, companies can cut all of the costs and even the excess because they can deliver right away, or they can deliver faster the product to a customer. Also, having good supply chain management in a business, it keeps company away from headlines like having lawsuits, or even in having expensive recalls. The five most critical elements of supply chain management are developing strategies, sourcing raw materials. Maybe there is a lot of competitor there, or they're having difficulties on sourcing that materials, and also in production, distribution, and returns. That's our five. But to give you a heads up, supply chain manager is tasked to with controlling and reducing costs of, and also reducing costs of the business, and also avoiding the supply shortages. So they are the one who responsible on the supply, on managing the supply of the business, that should be reliable and countable on that the needs of the business. But before anything else, supply chain covers everything from production to a product development to the information system that needed to direct these undertakings. So basically, supply chain management attempts to control or link production to a shipment and distribution of a product. You know what? Can be done by keeping tightened to control the internal inventories, internal production, distribution, sales, and even the inventories of the company vendors. So they are the one that should be responsible, not only the supply chain manager. Everyone in the company should be consistent and responsible about their responsibility about their tasks within the company, so that they can control, so that they can manage everything within the company. The supply chain manager coordinates with logistics of all aspects of the supply chain, that is consists with five parts. So I will going to dictate now the five parts of supply chain management. So first, the plan or strategy, the source of raw materials or even the services of the company. The third one is the manufacturing, that focus on productivity and efficiency of the product itself, of the services, and on the overall of the company performance. And the fourth one is delivery and logistic. And the last one is return system for defective and unwanted products. So that's are the five parts that the supply chain managers always report and always monitoring. So the supply chain managers are trying to maximize all of these shortages, and even they keep costs down, and they are the one who is responsible to oversee and to control and manage the overall supply chain within the company, and also the logistic operation to maximize the efficiency and the cost that can affect the company performance and the company profit. The example of supply chain activities can include of designing, farming, manufacturing, packaging, and transporting. Upon understanding the supply chain management, I understand that supply chain management is very important, not just in the company, not just in a business entity, but it is important to our lives as a consumer and also in a country. Because you know what, if you fully understand the supply chain management, and you understand every aspect of it, every factors of it, you will satisfied that, and you will having a lot of question regarding it. So I conduct my own research and I have it here, the document that can dictate the importance and of having supply chain management in the environment, in the company, and to every one of us. So I will going to elaborate it for all of us so that we can understand it right away. Okay, so I have here the nine importance of supply chain management. Honestly, I got a lot of information, I got a lot of importance having it, but I just summarize it into 9 primary or the best importance that can be, that I know a lot of us can be understand. So I will going to start with the supply chain boost customer service. Maybe a lot of you ask that how it can boost the customer service. That's why I will going to elaborate it one by one, and then we will proceed now how it boosts customer service. What I mentioned before, if you really watch this reporting, watch this video, I mentioned by supply chain is one of the reason why we deliver faster, or the product deliver faster to a customer. So finishing goods is very very faster as they can, so that the customer can receive it right away and can use that final product. So they are not just to their satisfaction, but most especially if if that is their necessity or needs that need to taken care right away. Okay, so by supply chain, what I am reading it is about the restoring and movement of materials needed to create a product, inventory, as well as tracking finishing goods. So it boosts our customer service because from raw materials, by using supply chain, it can it transform to a finished goods that really develop and can be used right away. So that is the importance, one of the importance of supply chain management. So the second one is the a well-managed supply chain remove disruption and obstacle. So how supply chain remove distraction and obstacle? So supply chain management is no doubt necessity in every business house. The strategy is systematic, and the needs of the the consumer and the needs of the company are absolute coordinately to provide the best result to a business, to a consumer rather. Because you know what, if you are in the business, you want to create, if you're going to create a product, it should be not just competitive, but not also efficient, but it should be effective one that the consumer can be benefit of it. Okay, so that you're, if you are the owner or one of the, one of the employee of the business, you're not just thinking about the profit, you're thinking as a whole of the business on how you can build a long-term relationship to a consumer, on how they can trust you more, and how, which is by engaging to a customer, they can also share that idea to other people that wants to try the product or services that you have in your company. So it is very important. So you know what, we will proceed to to the third one, which is it maximize operating costs. So a lot of you maybe have a question how the supply chain maximize the operating costs. So if they have the comprehensive flow and comprehensive process also in the business entity, they can reach the customer appropriate time frame, which wherein what I mentioned before, they will receive the time the product, the consumer will receive the product right away. So as long as there are a faster process, there are a good process within it, and all of the process are not taking too long, the consumer will benefit on it, and also the company can gain a lot of reducing costs about it. Because as long as it is basically not taking too long, we can create more products, and we can deliver right away a product that in a lot of our customer or consumer. Fourth one is the supply chain management has a societal importance. So basically what I can understand it, when we are in the company or industry, we're not just creating a product that is not effective, that is not reliable, that is not meet the necessity, or it is not the needs of the consumer, or the consumer, or the customer itself. So we have, as a owner of the company, as the employee, as the one who is responsible about it, we have to be consistent. We have to know the demand of the market and the needs of our customer right away. So the fifth one is improving financial position. So as long as we can gain profit to the consumer, we can gain profit to the customer, and we have the concrete process that company can maximize everything on the supply chain, we can improve the financial position. It can improve the financial position of the company itself. And the sixth one is acts as support during crisis and emergency. You know what? If you, a lot of you are, already an idea about the non-profit organization, also as also supply chain management are informed about it. Together with the government, they are coordinating with the government on how they will rescue once they have the we will have the disaster or any crisis that can be experienced in our country. But And so the next one is the improved standard of living. How it can improve the standard of living. So here's the thing. The demand of the customer, the needs of the customer are not consistent. It improves time to time. That's why it has a supply chain management, which is they will improve right away how the needs and the demand of the customer meets the product and the services that that can be provided, that can provide of the company, so that there is an interaction with that. So as long as the company meets the needs and the demand of the customer, the company will gain, and the company will improve still their product and services, because time to time, like a modern technology, if you are informed about it, before we're not the technology are not really widespread, are not really developed. But look, as of now, everything most of us has an access with the technology. That's why it improves standard of living. By using supply chain management, it can help how we adapt the new product and services in our lives, on how they can meet the standard of the needs of the customer. So second to the last is create more jobs. So basically, a lot of you ask how it can create more jobs, but try to look at it, try to think about it. If there is a supply chain management, what I mentioned before, there is a process that is manufacturing, packaging, and all of the process from getting the raw materials to deliver it to a customer or to the finishing goods. So everything is should have a manpower. Everything should have a have responsible about it. So they arrange managing logical information by packaging, inventory, management, and then I'm sorry for that noise, and also warehousing and transforming. So by using supply chain management process, it can create more jobs that country can benefit, that a lot of people can benefit, not also in the company, but the consumer will also benefit, because all throughout that process is already have a concrete and have a person who are responsible to taking care of. So lastly is have great importance in success of a business. So this one is really important to a business, because success and growth in every business unit is directly and indirectly to its chain management. So it is depends on their throughout process, on how chain management will run and can be developed, can be run better in their company. Because when you have a proper performance of chain management, proper process of it, I know that your business can get success. Your business can be success, because having great importance in a chain management is also being competitive in the market. It is also being creative on having the services and product upgrading and meet the standards of the consumer. So thank you. That's all the 9 importance of chain management. For the last one, I will going to discuss about the strategies for supply chain management. After I discuss the importance, I know a lot of you gain a lot of knowledge, information, and I know And I really hope that all of you will understand how supply management works in a company and how we can gain, or the company can gain, on having a good supply chain management. So I will going to proceed now about the 6-step supply chain management. So I will going to discuss the last topic that I mentioned earlier. It is the strategies for supply chain management. So, but before anything else, I already discussed the importance, so I know a lot of you get information. I still hoping that all of you didn't already get the idea how chain management work, how chain management important, not only in the business but also in the consumer, and what is the part of it, and how it can it develop and running here in the business. So, and just to give you a heads up, I have a document here that is give 6 top supply chain strategies for 2020. Nothing to worry since it is not updated, but I already checked that this strategy is still adopted by a lot of business that is still running better as of the moment. So first, we will proceed to the strategy number 1, which is adopt a demand-driven planning the business operating model based on real-time demand and insights and demand shaping. And the second one is build an adaptive and agile supply chain with rapid planning, integrated production. So not maybe, I'm sorry, but it is getting better, or getting improvement with the services and getting improvement with the goods, and also aligning the planning of the business to a supply chain, and giving the operational speed and flexibility right away on the business supply chain. And the third one strategy is the optimized product design and management for supply, manufacturing, and sustainability to accelerate profitable innovation. So basically, it is being competitive, not just being efficient, but also being effective on how both of us, on how a lot of people will gain and benefit of having a good supply chain management. So the fourth strategy is align our supply chain with business goals by integrating sales and operation, planning with corporate business planning. So what I mentioned earlier, all of the responsibility, all of the information of the company should be aligned with goals, should be accurate, should be consistent, not just on being consistent on like there is no improvement. It is being consistent on meeting the standard of every one consumer, on meeting the goals of the company. So the fifth strategy is embed sustainability into chain operations. So it is the priority of the company because it is how they can sustain and how their effort to sustain the needs of the consumer, that they will also benefit on the cost on the all throughout that process. So I will going to proceed on the last one. So it is the strategy number 6. But before anything else, I'm so sorry for the noise that caused. So on the strategy number 6 is adapt emerging technology to ensure a reliable and predictable supply. So it is a business need to buffer and deal with unexpected shift in demand. So what I mentioned
the business should not be consistent about their what the owner wants. They should be consistent on how they will meet their consumer or the customer standards. So I already mentioned the last part that I want to discuss I want to discuss right away. So thank you so much for keep on watching. Thank you so much for for staying, and I hope that you get a lot of information with me, and I'm still hoping that you can fully understand everything that I discussed. And thank you so much again. This is Kyla from BSB HRM2A, and have a good one.